Alright everyone, welcome to a new video, and in today's video I'm going to go over a few things that I think could stand to be changed in Destiny 2 and just changes that I would like to see. I've seen a lot of videos like this being made, but I'm the only one that stands with the Iron Wolves. I'm the only PvP focused person, so I figured I'd make my own. I'm going to break up into sections, so I'm going to do a PvP section, which will obviously be the longest, and then I'll do a PvE section, and then just like a general purpose / quality of life section. For PvP, I understand that handheld supernova can be a bit much and that it could probably stand to be toned down, but the main thing that the information that I've gathered from using that subclass tree is that whenever I pop the super, it is terrible. Because whenever you pop it, everyone just runs away from you, and let's just say you use the movement ability by hitting glide and then the force blink or whatever it's called in the middle of the super, and you catch up to them, right? Now you've caught up to them. This is fantastic, but you have to charge your super, else it's not going to kill them in one hit. So you charge your super while they're still sprinting away, and then all of a sudden by the time you can actually release your super and kill them, they're already gone. So either make it so that while you're charging you can move faster, or make it so that it doesn't cancel any of your forward momentum when you start charging it. Now, I don't know if this next issue has something to do with fusion rifles as a whole or just air intel, but I think they should make it so that it takes a little bit more flinch, because it seems like every single time someone's charging one up and I'm shooting them in the head over and over again, without failure, they always one burst me. Like against a sniper, unless maybe the sniper is really good, if I headshot them twice with a hand cannon, in general, I don't really have to worry about getting headshot. I know a lot of people complain about not having enough sniper flinch, but the reality is that if you get sniped out of headshotting someone twice, a lot of times it's due to latency. So because of latency in Destiny 2, it's not going to show up on their screen. That headshot that you did is not going to show up on their screen until later. So if they get that shot off before that headshot shows up on their screen and they flinch from it, they're not dealing with the flinch from that shot, if that makes any sense. So that's why you'll see a lot of times if you play someone from like Europe or something, it seems like you're hitting them over, and I just hit back-to-back headshots and I still keep getting sniped. That is the reason why. So for all my fellow D1 brothers out there, you'll know that skirmish was the place to be, especially in year 1, coming home from school, playing 3v3 with my friends, getting in a full stack, 3-stack, and just hopping into skirmish was so much fun. So I hope they're able to bring it back in some way. They could either replace survival and have it take over as the new quote-unquote competitive game mode, or they could replace one of kind of the temporary playlists with it. I just want to experience it for a little bit. I miss it, okay? Personally, I'm a pretty goal-oriented person, and I feel like a lot of people are. So if they see something at the end of the tunnel that is worth getting, they don't care what they have to do to get through that tunnel to get the thing they want. A good example was getting camos in Black Ops 2 when I was playing Black Ops 2. It was just like the way that you get these camos would make you want to just throw like 9 toasters in a bath and just hop on in for a nice little swim. But then once you got that camo, it was just it was beautiful. So I was thinking they could have an exclusive emblem for a 40+ defeat game, a 50+ defeat game, a 60+ defeat game, and then so on and so forth, all the way up to an 80+ defeat game. Same thing goes for total defeat counters, so like your totals. So they'd have a milestone for 50,000 lifetime defeats, 100,000 lifetime defeats, and then 200,000 lifetime defeats. And they could have some combination of emblems or shaders. So imagine you're rolling deep, year 3, you got your 200,000 lifetime defeats shader on, rocking your 80+ defeat game emblem. You be looking and feeling tight as fuck. The new Iron Banner armor looks amazing. I feel like they've finally gone back to what I think of when I think of Iron Banner. I think of the white and the gold. I wasn't a huge fan of the whole grass and mud theme that they went with for Destiny 2 at launch, but they're finally back to, you know, the classic Iron Banner look, and I love it. The only problem is there's no new weapons, and I feel like a problem in the past is that when they would put weapons in Iron Banner, they would be weapons that weren't really like the best archetype for PvP to begin with. So they might have cool perks that might look amazing, but there's no real reason to use them in PvP at all. Like it's a PvP mode, but it's dropping stuff that you wouldn't want to use for PvP, like a 110 RPM hand cannon. Meanwhile, you see like the best PvP weapons, like the spare rations, requires you to grind an activity like tier 2 reckoning. So imagine if Iron Banner had a weapon that was as desirable for PvP players as spare rations, but it dropped from Iron Banner. I feel like everyone would want to be playing it. On top of that, they could go into a new system where they don't have to be dropping a whole entire weapon set for Iron Banner. Like, they don't need to drop a pulse rifle, scout rifle, auto rifle, hand cannon, shotgun, sniper, everything all at once. They could make it so that each Iron Banner activity and each Iron Banner week, right, when it comes out, is a special one. So for example, they develop their hand cannon. Let's just say they drop like a spare rations equivalent that's a little bit better. So when Iron Banner comes back next, that is the weapon for you to obtain. You got to do all the quests, all the little, you know, the nitty gritty, and then you unlock this hand cannon. Same thing happens when they go into the next Iron Banner. They drop another weapon that is actually good and actually useful in PvP, instead of coming out with a whole brand new lineup all at once and then just having kind of like a lot of mediocre options. Having more PvP events would be really cool as well. One thing that I was thinking of would be like a Destiny World Cup, except for, surprise, it's already a Destiny World Cup because every single person that I match in quick play is from China. In all seriousness though, I thought of a Destiny 2 World Cup, not something like a LAN event that is truly competitive, just like a 3v3 public playlist sort of community event where I'm from America, so I'll queue up and it will pair me with 2 other people from America. We all 3 of us get American flag emblems and American flag themed shaders, and then it pairs us up with a full team from another country, and then, you know, we battle it out. You know, we're all looking fresh, we're all representing our country, and then at the end of the event it tracks the like kill totals and win totals from each country. That would be something that I think would be really cool. I don't know if they could come up with some sort of exclusive reward, right, like for the winning country or whatever, just because I feel like it's going to be defined by who just has the most players playing. So if Mexico has like let's just say, these are not even close to the numbers, let's just say Mexico has 100,000 people playing this game, but America has like 500,000 people playing, then it's like no doubt, even if America has terrible players, we're still gonna win. And something they could do to remedy that would just be give an exclusive you know, flag themed shader, depending on the country, to the person from that country who got the most kills or the most wins or something. So for example, if I dropped like 60,000 defeats because I'm a nerdneck virgin who ate Mountain Dew and drank Cheetos all day, if you didn't know that is possible, then I would get this emblem that I would be able to rock forever, showing that I was the person who had the most kills for my country in this event. So on the topic of PvE, I would prefer not to be crucified by the PvE community, because in all honesty, you guys know I barely play PvE, and I also do not know what I'm talking about, so I'm going to reference his video. The only thing I'd say is that it seems like all of the PvE content is similar to the Menagerie, where they give you the same thing, they give you a new set of weapons, and they say, hey, grind this for a few months, we're going to meet back up, okay, a few months from now, and we're going to give you another one to grind and do the same thing over and over again, but this time, you're unlocking the corridors of time. So for quality of life and just general experience, the first thing I want to say is I love the new mod system. I hated having to like use the mods and then they go away. I didn't like that, so I love the new mod system. One thing that I do not like is the shader system. It was nothing that like really stuck out to me where I'm like, oh, I hate this, this is unbearable. But a video got made by this guy, for some reason I'm blanking out on his name, but he pretty much developed a shader 2.0 system. So it works like Destiny 1 shaders, where you're not applying it to each armor piece, you're applying it on your character itself, and then it will change depending on the armor you're wearing, except for it's a little bit more intricate than the one in Destiny 1 because it still allows you to control the color of each individual armor set. So how in Destiny 1 you had one slot where you put your shader for all of your armor, it has however many slots, so you can select a helmet shader, a gauntlet shader, a chest piece shader, and a greaves or leg piece shader, and then the class item shader. So it's a lot better. I highly recommend you check the video out. I'm going to link it in the description of this video, but it's really cool. Also, I was thinking maybe mod slots for exotic weapons, question mark. I know that exotic weapons like the last word, people would probably not want to get a mod slot, but for weapons like Ace of Spades, just stuff like that, I think that they still deserve to have one. At least let me put Icarus on there. I don't know, at least on PC, a lot of the gameplay is in the air because you have really good control over your gun while you're in there because you have a mouse. So whenever a gun doesn't have Icarus, I don't know why, it just rubs me the wrong way. I'd be interested to hear your feedback. Do you think it's necessary, or do you think they should have a mod slot to put Icarus on? I don't know, because people could use like targeting enhancer or whatever it's called. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just stupid. And then finally, the last thing of this video, which everyone has been asking for what seems like an eternity, is for please refresh the vendors. I don't think I've talked to Zavala or Shax in like 4 years. I wanna hang out with my boys again, but there's no reason to. They don't have any new armor. They don't have any new weapons. And this specifically relates to PvP because a lot of times vendor refreshes, because it's just an influx of so many weapons, it can really shift the meta of PvP. Like for example, in year 3 when Palindrome dropped, that was a big deal, because all of a sudden Palindrome was like the go-to hand cannon that everyone used if they weren't lucky enough to get an IS Luna, which was me, because I never got a good one. One last thing that is PvP related, but I completely forgot to say it, is just delete the Lord of Wolves. I'm actually not even trying to nerf it. Yeah, just probably just delete it, I'd say. That is it for the video. If you agree with certain points, then certainly let me know in the comment section down below. And I've only really gotten back into this game more recently. I was really busy with competing in Fortnite and doing school and stuff, so I didn't even really have time to grind or play the game itself. I was just recording for videos as much as I could, but I'm finally able to actually play the game. So if I miss some stuff, then feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. I'm certainly not all-knowing when it comes to this game, but hopefully you did enjoy it. Like the video if you agree with the overall, the overarching message of this video. And if you already subbed and you want to make sure that you do not miss a video, then click on the bell to enable post notifications, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.